Welcome to Allworx phone training provided by WheelHouse Solutions. My name is Marty, and today we will be talking about checking voicemails on the Allworx phones. So the first thing I'd like to do is give you a little bit of background on the voicemails. And so, as we mentioned in some of our other video training, you will know that you have new voicemails by looking at the main screen of your phone. It will have an indicator to show you how many voicemails you have. And then the actual voicemail button, which has this icon here, that button will actually be lit up on your phone to notify you that you have new voicemail. And so you access the voicemail by pressing that messages function button, and it takes you into the areas to check the voicemail. Now, there are two different ways to access voicemail on the Allworx. One is what we call our visual message center. It's an on-screen access, very similar to smartphones today, where you pull up a screen and it shows you any new voicemails you have. And then you just select one of those and it starts playing. The Allworx has a very similar, it's called Visual Voice Message Center. And so if you press that messages function button once, it's going to take you to the on-screen access. If you press the messages function button twice, it's going to take you to the more traditional voice prompted messaging center. I call her the voice of Mrs. Allworx, that tells you enter your PIN, or enter your password, and press 1 to listen to messages, and kind of voice prompts you. And so to do that, you press the messages function button twice. And so that's the two different ways to access voicemail. And so we're going to go ahead and continue on and talk a little bit more about the on-screen access to voicemail. So if you, again, you press the messages function button once to access the visual message center. And what it's going to do, by default, it's going to put your extension in up there in the top, and then it's waiting on you to put in your PIN or your password. And again, that default PIN or voicemail password is 1234, but your system might require you to change that PIN or password. So if it does, you'll have to change it to something else. And then once you do that, you hit done, and then it takes you into the messaging center, and you'll see a screen similar to what you see here on the bottom left of my screen. And so you can scroll through those messages using the up and down navigation buttons. Then if you want to select one of those messages, you press the center select button on the navigation, and then you're able to get more information. You can play the message, you can delete it, you can do some other things that we'll talk about here in just a moment. You'll also notice that they're slightly different colors. So the ones on top will be your newest messages, and the ones on the bottom will be the ones that you've already listened to. So you can scroll down in any messages that you've saved in the Allworx system. So once you're inside a message, do have options that you can use. In our training guide on page 9, we have a list of all of the possible options that you have when you're listening to a message, but I'm just going to go through them real quickly. But you can interact with them by using the soft keys. And so you can, if it's another Allworx user that leaves a message, you can reply to that message, or you can forward an Allworx voicemail to another Allworx voicemail mailbox. Of course, you can delete the message, you can replay the message, you can play the previous message or play the next message, or you can rewind 10 seconds and rehear a portion of a message, or fast forward 10 seconds to skip to the end of a saved message. And then another very powerful, cool feature is if you're listening to a message and you see that there's a caller ID associated with that message, you can actually call that person back without having to write the number down and retype it. And so very cool, powerful features that you have, and all that is done just by interacting with the screen using the soft keys and the up and down navigation. With that being said, let's move on to the more traditional way of accessing voicemails. Again, I affectionately call this Mrs. Allworx. And so if you press the message function button twice, you're going to hear a voice that asks you for your PIN or for your password. And again, that default is 1234. And then it's going to tell you to press the pound sign. So that's telling the system that you're done entering the PIN. And so you put in your PIN, followed by the pound sign. And then Mrs. Allworx will start giving you options. One of those options will be to listen to messages. You press 1, and then it goes on and tells you you can manage your message center system settings by pressing 4. And then, so you have all these options, and you just follow the prompts once you get in there. Now, we do ask you, part of your homework is to go in and record a default greeting. And it's very important that you record a default greeting. And as I explained in our other training video that explains the different presences, you can actually record a different greeting in each one of your presences. So if you go in and record a default greeting, that's wonderful. That's what we're asking you to do. But then if later on you're getting ready to go on vacation, you can also go and record a greeting in the vacation greeting. And that way, when you are ready to change your presence to on vacation, that's the greeting that callers are going to hear instead of your default greeting. But still, your homework for today is to go in once your phone system is set up and follow these instructions and record your default greeting. So how do you do that? You're going to press the messages function button twice. You put in your PIN followed by the pound sign. Press 4 to change message center system settings. And then press 3 to manage your greetings. And then it's going to ask you which greeting. And it says select 0 for the default greeting. So you're going to press 0. And then follow the prompts and record your greeting and then save your greeting. Make sure you listen to the prompts and press the option to save that greeting. And then you can go back and re-listen to it if you want. Another option that we ask you to do while you're in there is to record your name. So while you're in the option 4 there to manage your system settings, you'll press 2 to record your name, and then you follow the prompts to save that. And then if you want to go in and change your PIN later on, once you get into the message center system settings, you can always press 5 and follow the prompts to change your PIN. Again, when you go in for the first time, the system may require you to change that PIN to something besides 1, 2, 3, 4. And it can be any 4 or 5 digit number besides 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is all I have in the message center settings, but I do want to show you this little shortcut, and this is also in your training guide. If you're listening, if you're doing the traditional voicemail, you have the same options. You can reply to a message to another Allworx, if it's another Allworx user. You can press *2 to forward, *3 to delete, *4 to replay, *5 to go back to the previous message, *6 plays the next message, *7 will rewind 10 seconds and allow you to keep listening to the same portion over and over again so that you can maybe better hear someone's phone number, or press *8 to fast forward to the end of a message, 10 seconds at a time. And then, of course, that really cool feature of pressing the callback, which is *9 to call back the caller ID number of the person who left you that voicemail. And, of course, you can press *# to skip to the end of a message, and that way you can hear the options for that message. Thank you so much for joining us today for training, and hope to see you soon.